Welcome, thinkers and philosophy enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into history to spotlight a figure whose name may not be as celebrated as Seneca or Marcus Aurelius, but who laid the cornerstone for one of the most influential schools of thought in Western philosophy, Stoicism. Meet Zeno of Citium, a man whose thoughts, thousands of years old, continue to reverberate through time, profoundly shaping our understanding of resilience, tranquility, and virtue. Through sheer will and intellectual vigor, Zeno birthed an entire philosophy of life under the shadowed columns of an Athenian porch. Sit back as we journey through the bustling streets of ancient Athens, right into the heart of the Stoa Poikila, to explore the teachings of the forgotten father of Stoicism. It's time to go back to where it all began. Welcome to the world of Zeno of Citium. To appreciate the depth of Stoic philosophy, we must first grasp the nuances of the man who started it all. Zeno of Citium, born around 334 BC in Citium, a Greek settlement on the island of Cyprus, Zeno was not initially destined to become a philosopher. His life took a dramatic turn when he found himself in Athens after surviving a shipwreck, losing his father's valuable cargo of purple dye, which he was transporting for trade. Suddenly penniless in a strange land, Zeno was drawn to a bookstore where he came across the writings of Socrates. Moved by Socrates' wisdom and the tranquility his teachings promised, he started attending lectures by the Cynics, especially those of Crates of Thebes, a famous Cynic philosopher. What initially started as a journey to find solace and rebuild his life transformed into a relentless pursuit of wisdom, knowledge, and virtue. As Zeno studied, he absorbed ideas from Cynicism, but he also found himself branching out, incorporating elements from the philosophical branches of his time, creating the roots of what would later be known as Stoicism. By embracing adversity, Zeno found his true calling in philosophy, forever leaving his imprint on humanity's intellectual landscape. His story is the embodiment of a crucial Stoic lesson. It's not what happens to us that matters, but how we respond to it. This pillar of Stoicism, born from the crucible of Zeno's hardships, would go on to help countless individuals throughout history cope with their own trials and tribulations. Now that we know the man behind the philosophy, let's dive deeper into Zeno's teachings. He did not leave behind many writings. His ideas were primarily transmitted through his students and followers, which gives us a fragmented yet insightful view of his philosophical framework. Zeno's philosophy was one that emphasized simplicity, humility, and a deep connection to nature's laws. His teachings revolved around the four cardinal virtues of Stoicism: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues became the guideposts for living a good life. He maintained that happiness doesn't come from external goods, but from virtue, a life lived in harmony with nature, accepting things we cannot change and focusing our energy on the things we can. He believed in the power of human reason and argued that if we used our logic and judgment correctly, we could reach apatheia, or peace of mind. This state of tranquility is achieved when we distance ourselves from our emotions and judgments, helping us to view our circumstances objectively and react to them rationally, not impulsively. Interestingly, Zeno's teachings were not meant to be abstract philosophical ideas, but were rather intended as practical advice for daily living. His Stoicism was a philosophy of action, encouraging his followers to practice virtue in their everyday life, emphasizing character over rhetoric, and promoting personal ethics as the road to inner peace. Through his philosophy, Zeno invites us to shift our perspective, to change our focus from the world outside to the world within us. Zeno's teachings were not merely confined to the classrooms of the Stoa Poikila. He lived out his philosophy in every aspect of his life, leading by example. However, his story and his teachings became somewhat overshadowed by the likes of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus in later years. Yet his foundational work laid the groundwork for these great thinkers to flourish. Without Zeno, the school of Stoicism might never have come into existence. Now let's talk about an intriguing aspect of Zeno's philosophical offerings, his paradoxes. Zeno's paradoxes, as they are known, are a series of philosophical problems generally thought to have been devised by Zeno of Elea, not Zeno of Citium. Yet these paradoxes are often conflated because of their shared name. One of the most famous of these is the paradox of Achilles and the tortoise. It goes like this: Achilles races a tortoise and gives the creature a 10-foot head start. If Achilles runs twice as fast as the tortoise, by the time he reaches the point where the tortoise began, the tortoise will have moved 5 more feet. When Achilles covers that 5-foot distance, the tortoise will have moved another 5 feet, and so on. Logically, Achilles will never surpass the tortoise, despite being faster. This paradox makes us question our understanding of movement, distance, and time, stimulating deep philosophical thought. Zeno of Citium's influence, though not as widely acknowledged, has continued to ripple through the ages, his teachings quietly coloring the threads of Stoic philosophy, ultimately shaping the way many approach life, even today. So as we delve further into the minds of well-known Stoic philosophers, let us not forget the man who began it all. Despite being the founder of Stoicism, Zeno's personal teachings and philosophy are often overlooked, overshadowed by his more famous followers. But it is in Zeno's life and actions that the true essence of Stoicism shines. The man who lost a fortune and found wisdom, the man who sought knowledge over material wealth, and the man who walked the path of virtue. These aspects of his life serve as vital lessons for all of us. Zeno taught that the universe was a single, harmonious system, and human beings, being a part of this system, should live in accordance with nature. To him, the highest form of virtue was to live a life of reason, accepting the world as it is, rather than how we wish it would be. He also believed that external events are beyond our control, and that our best response is to adopt an attitude of indifference towards them. Our happiness, Zeno argued, depends on what we control: our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions. This idea, often expressed in the phrase, "happiness is an inside job," is as revolutionary now as it was then. It invites us to reconsider our priorities, our desires, and the source of our satisfaction. His simple and austere lifestyle served as a testament to his teachings. Despite having lost his wealth, he found riches in knowledge, wisdom, and tranquility. He led a life devoid of unnecessary luxuries, proving that happiness could be achieved without the material possessions society often deems necessary. Zeno's life and philosophy remind us that living a fulfilled life doesn't mean chasing after external validation or material success. Instead, it's about seeking wisdom, living according to our nature, and finding peace within ourselves. And though his name might not be as renowned as his successors, the lessons we can learn from Zeno of Citium are timeless, precious gems of wisdom. Stoicism, as a philosophical movement, placed emphasis on ethics, virtues, and moral character, aligning seamlessly with the teachings of Zeno. Zeno's philosophical framework was not just theoretical, but profoundly practical. Stoicism was designed to be lived, not just contemplated. This philosophy was about action, not just understanding. This element of practicality has led to Stoicism's enduring appeal, resonating with countless people throughout the ages and into the present day. Notably, Stoicism also provided a philosophical basis for Roman emperors like Marcus Aurelius, who is remembered today as one of the great Stoic philosophers. Aurelius' writings and meditations continue to inspire and guide individuals around the world, and they have their roots in the teachings of Zeno. Zeno's Stoicism laid the groundwork for concepts such as cognitive behavioral therapy and modern psychology. The Stoic idea that we can control our reactions to our thoughts has proven to be a useful tool in managing mental health issues, further establishing the lasting significance of Zeno's contributions. From the bustling streets of ancient Athens to the digital pages of modern self-help guides, the echo of Zeno's philosophy is unmistakable. Although we may have forgotten Zeno's name over the course of history, his influence permeates our society. His wisdom continues to provide guidance, comfort, and understanding in our complex world. So, we return to where we started. Zeno, the man who survived a shipwreck, lost his wealth, and stumbled upon a book in a bookstore, eventually gave birth to a philosophy that continues to resonate and guide millions of lives today. Zeno of Citium, the father of Stoicism, was a thinker who believed in the power of personal virtue, emotional resilience, and self-control. In a world that often seems chaotic, Zeno's teachings provide a blueprint for finding serenity. He advocated for a life guided by reason, rooted in the present moment, and unswayed by external circumstances. His principles remind us of the importance of resilience, the power of acceptance, and the pursuit of wisdom. As we navigate our own challenges and storms, we can find solace in the teachings of Zeno. So, let's not forget Zeno of Citium. Let's remember his name, his story, and his invaluable contributions to the world of philosophy. Remember, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And in the grand shipwreck of our chaotic life, we can find direction and purpose in the guiding principles of Zeno's Stoicism. Thank you for taking this journey into the world of Zeno of Citium with me. I hope you've enjoyed it and found value in uncovering the forgotten legacy of the father of Stoicism. If you found this content interesting, please hit that like button share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more insightful journeys into the realm of philosophy. Until next time, keep seeking wisdom, my friends.